If Cody was able to demonstrate even a modicum of self-control during the divorce with Christine, he probably wouldn't be getting divorced in the first place. But since he can't demonstrate that maturity, we're left with Kid Tom Cody. Hi, I'm James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Cody, his approach during this meeting with Christine, as she had the sister wives and Cody over to her house to express that she had put her house under contract and she will be moving to Utah next week. As always, I would ask that if you're not subscribed to the channel, that you consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out, it helps me out, and hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So give me that HBO special down below and click the bell for notifications of when we upload new videos. Also, if you're already subscribed, thank you. If you want to continue to support the channel, just give us a thumbs up and let me know that I'm doing a good job as far as the videos and you're still enjoying them. Really appreciate it. Now let's get it. Now, one of the first things I want to talk about or address is the idea of communication. As I've said on this channel, and I'm sure people have said all throughout the YouTube verse, as well as in therapy rooms and conference rooms and even business meeting rooms across the country and around the world, is that communication is key to any relationship, especially any healthy relationship. All parties involved have to be involved in communicating with each other and updating one another so that they know exactly where everything is currently, what has happened, and where the organization is going. In this particular case, Robin had made the argument that Christine and Cody aren't communicating and they're not even talking and you don't communicate to her and she doesn't communicate to you and you guys are doing terrible. At which time Christine looked at her and said, "Oh, we are communicating. We are talking. What are you talking about? We've communicated better in the last 6 months to a year than we ever have before." And Cody looked at her and said, "Oh, I don't think so." What was the difference? The difference was the power in communication and the power relationship in those communication events. When Cody talks about we weren't communicating and we were communicating before, the way they were communicating before in the situations that he enjoyed is when he had all the power and Christine had none of the power, so therefore anything he said goes. Of course, you think that the conversation is brilliant and you agree with everything when it's all your opinion. So from that regard, when Christine is now taking control of herself and she's taking control of her life and she's stating her opinion and she's speaking her mind, now all of a sudden Cody is hearing things that he doesn't want to hear. And so therefore they're not communicating. But Cody, it's not that you're not communicating, you're just hearing things that you don't like. You're hearing messages and she's giving you information that you don't appreciate. She's giving you criticism. And because Cody is an egomaniac, he doesn't understand that when somebody is giving you criticism, that's an opportunity for you to open the door of communication and actually have that conversation. He said, and Robin has also said that they didn't think that the relationship was in that disrepair and, it was going great and it was okay and everything was fine, and they don't understand where Christine just kind of materialized this whole problem with Cody and all of a sudden she wants to leave. But she had been saying for years that there's a problem. She's been trying to talk to Cody for years about the issues in their relationships. The problem is that Cody didn't want to listen. Why didn't Cody want to listen? But like so many other people who are in similar situations, they're comfortable with the way things are. So they don't want things to change. So any conversation that he had, especially a conversation about where it revolves around a criticism or something that he's doing wrong or something that he could do better, he doesn't want to hear that conversation because ultimately that would mean that he would have to change, and therefore the relationship itself and how you interact with one another would have to change as well. He doesn't want that. When he talks about, oh, Christine is one of those liberated women now and she's trying to take control, she's power tripping. It's not the fact that she's power tripping, because if you really break it down, Christine is not taking power away from Cody. She didn't take anything from Cody. She didn't even take property away from Cody. She didn't take money away from Cody. She didn't take any of his relationships. She didn't take anything from Cody. When you listen to Cody talk about it, she took my house. This is my house. These are my kids. This is my relationship and my marriage, and she's taking that away from me. No, what she did was she took control of herself. She's deciding for herself what she wants and how she wants it and what she's going to put up with and what she won't. And by her taking that initiative and taking control of her own life, all of a sudden Cody feels like she's taking something from him. The truth of the matter is that all the things that he talks about her taking away, if you are truly married, even in a monogamous relationship, if you're truly married, these are all shared experiences. If you're married and you coming up and you're working together and you purchase a home, that's not your home. That's both of your home. If you're working together and you're slaving together, you're struggling together, and she gets pregnant and you guys have a child together, the two of you had a child. Neither one of you can make a child alone. Unfortunately, in Christine's situation, she was raising a child alone, but she didn't make those babies herself, and she didn't make those babies by herself. And unfortunately, she found herself in a situation where she has to raise those children alone. And she is doing the best she can in that situation. And I give her credit for that. And she's doing a bang up job for that. She's decided to have children and she's living up to her responsibility. Cody, on the other hand, is not living up to his. And because he's not living up to his responsibility, he feels as though Christine is taking something from him because she's doing the right thing by herself and her children. When he talks about the career and opportunities and she's taking all this away, and the marriage is between two people. The marriage is between Christine and Cody. Even in their polygamous lifestyle, those two individuals still have to choose marriage every day. When you get married, it's not about the ceremony. It's not about the wedding. It's not about the courtship. It's not about the engagement. It's about the daily decision that you make every day to be with this person. The daily decision when you wake up, you can decide to either stay in this bed with this person or get up, pack a bag, and walk out the door. Every day you have to make that choice for yourself. Christine decided to choose something else, and Cody can't handle it because she's taking the power back, and she's not taking his power, she's taking control of her power. Now, when confronted with the idea that they were having problems in Vegas, Robin had stated that, oh, you guys, that's a lie, your relationships were perfect, everybody was having a great time, and she started trying to gaslight, and this is actually legitimate gaslighting, where you try to tell people something that absolutely is not true and convince them that the opposite is true. This is just textbook gaslighting. But she was sitting there gaslighting Christine, and when she did it in such a way that she called into question whether Christine was actually having a failed relationship with Cody when she was having a sparse, if any, intimacy with him whatsoever. She didn't trust him. He didn't trust her, so on and so forth. And they were having all kinds of problems. So much so, in fact, that they decided to go to therapy. So I don't know why you would think that the relationship was going gangbusters if they're sitting in marriage counseling. And even in the marriage counseling session, which they filmed, Cody took over the exercise of the marriage counseling. She got up and walked off crying. Like, that was not a successful therapy session. If one of the people gets so frustrated that they have to leave the session in tears because they're frustrated with their mate, that was not a successful event. So Robin had looked at Christine and said that you're lying. You guys were getting along great in Vegas. And when Janelle came back and corrected Robin, what did Robin do? She said my favorite thing, I didn't know. Well, if you don't know, don't speak on things you don't know. Robin, if you don't know what's going on between Cody and Christine, why don't you shut up and listen to what Christine is saying so that you can get an idea? She complains that Christine is only giving the kids and Janelle and certain people her side of the story and leaving out Cody's side of the story. Well, is it possible that you're only getting Cody's side of the story and not getting Christine's side of the story? If you have that understanding, then clearly you understand the other way. It cracks me up because there was a parallel when she said, I didn't know. It put me in stark reminder of what Cody always says every time he gets into trouble or he feels like he's about to hit the hypocrite wall and be proven that he is actually lying. He says, I had no idea. I had no idea she felt this way. I had no idea. When she told me that she was having problems with me, when I went to her and told her that I didn't want to have an intimate relationship, and she told me that she couldn't do that, when she put me out of her bedroom saying she didn't want me to sleep in her bed anymore, when she told me that she packed my stuff and put it in the garage, I had no idea that she was serious. I had no idea that she wanted to break up. Bruh, these are all signals. Your opportunity to actually speak to her would have been when she started to express problems, issues. When she said that I'm having an issue, that's your time to talk to her. Not after she packs your stuff up. When a woman stops caring about the stuff you're doing, you should be concerned. When she didn't care that you weren't coming over to the house anymore, you should be concerned. When she packed your stuff up and she had that, I just put your stuff in the garage, you should have been concerned. When she was having these conversations with you, you should have been concerned, but you weren't concerned because you didn't care. It all comes down to power. In his mind, he gets to decide when the relationship is over. Christine doesn't break up with me. I break up with her. When asked about Mary, he said, oh yeah, Mary, I consider myself divorced from her. We're no longer together. But Christine is a different story because I didn't decide to break up with Christine. And that's all it came down to. And he can't handle the fact that Christine is assuming power over her own life. He can't handle it. So in his mind, I think technically he's right. He did have, in his mind and in his interpretation and the way he perceived his relationships and his marriage, he was living in a patriarchy because he gets to make all the decisions as far as whether the relationships are good or bad or they're going to move forward or they're going to stop. In his mind, that was the case. But he can't handle the fact that Christine is saying, yeah, we're not doing patriarchy, and I'm going to pack a bag. And she rolled out. What it all comes down to is that in order for your relationships to function in a healthy and productive manner, you have to first respect one another. You have to respect each other as people, individual, and you have to respect the power that lies in your partner. You don't want to ever be with a weak partner. In all honesty, I don't understand people like Cody. I don't understand people who want to pair themselves with individuals that they can control, they can dominate, that they can manipulate. If you are with somebody who is easily controlled, easily fooled and manipulated, easily dominated, then what that means is anytime you're not around, that person is susceptible to being controlled, dominated, and manipulated by somebody else. Your legacy, your children, your life may be in the balance. If something were to happen to Cody, he's out there shucking wood off them trees and a tree branch fall on him or a tree tip over on him, one of them rabbit ass gophers come and bite him in the leg, and he can't get help, and then all of a sudden he finds himself in a hospital, and this person who is weak, easily controlled, easily manipulated, and easily dominated is standing there talking to the doctor. The doctor say, yeah, we ought to knock one of his legs off just, so I can get practice. Okay, doc, if you think that's the good thing to do. Like, you don't want that. You want somebody who's going to be strong. Iron sharpens iron. If you want to get better, faster, stronger, you want to be smarter, you hang out with people who are better, faster, stronger, and smarter than you. You hang out with people who at least match you so that way you challenge each other and you can grow with one another. You can't grow with people that you got to drag along behind you. And for Cody, he picked wrong. He thought he picked somebody who was weak, who he could dominate, and he could control. And what he found out is that Christine is having none of it. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living